just got back from a very snowy walk with Arya. We've gotten like 2 feet of snow in the last 48 hours, so it was pretty deep out there, so I'm a little out of breath. But it has been a really busy but really fun last few days. Our town hosts this really awesome bluegrass festival every winter, so it was fun to go to that, and we had a lot of friends come into town for that too, so it was fun hanging out and doing all that stuff. And then my dad actually flew in last night, and he'll be here for about a week. We do have a big week ahead of us. It is Monday, and my fireside beanie pattern is in testing with my testers. They've been doing such a great job, and the pattern releases on Friday, so we've got a lot to do in that sense. And tomorrow we are actually doing something very fun that I haven't really talked about much yet on here, but it's something that I've been doing a little bit more of, so good morning. We are standing by, so I thought I'd check in. Today we are doing something really cool. I have been getting several opportunities to do these media projects, and when I asked these companies how they found me, it was because of Instagram and having a presence on there. So today Rob and I are actually doing a shoot with Steamboat Resort, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they basically recruited us and Aria to do a photo shoot for the resort and to represent the community and that kind of thing. And I haven't been able to tell you about this, but back in September I was invited to do a paid trip to Minnesota as a maker who has not been to Minnesota before, and the whole premise of the shoot was to film my experience traveling around Minnesota and visiting artists and makers. I actually got to bring Rob on that trip, which was really special, and the shoot ended up being this really big production, bigger than I thought it was going to be, and the videos are now live on the Explore Minnesota website. And then a couple of weeks ago they actually reached out again, and they really liked us, so they wanted us to do the voiceover for their radio ads for Explore Minnesota. And so I've been getting paid to do these media projects, and it has been so much fun. And all of this has been due to having a presence on social media and for sharing just the things that I love and being myself. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, when you are yourself, even if your social media page is your business, like mine is, don't be afraid to share your personality and yourself, because those are just huge parts of your brand as well. And the more authentic you can be and the more real you can be on your page, it just shows, I guess, and people will find it. I mean, I never thought that these would be projects that I'd be doing, and I haven't seeked them out or anything, but they've been happening, so I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film a lot of the shoot today, but I'll try to do as much as I can. We're still waiting. It was so snowy earlier that they really had to clear out some space, so I think they're just still trying to figure out the shooting situation. It's fine because I brought my knitting, and actually last night I was able to get the fireside cowl pattern together, so I sent it out to a few of the testers who volunteered to do that pattern as well. So what I'm hoping is that we can actually do a surprise release of the fireside cowl pattern on the same day as the beanie pattern.
When you can't make it today, go ahead.
We have a little break from the shoot, so I'm home. I just checked in with my testers on Instagram and shared some of their stuff in my stories. I'm finishing up this cowl sample because the cowl was such a last-minute addition that I need to get more photos for the actual pattern PDF too, but all of that is moving along. The patterns will both release on Friday, so it's coming up and there's a lot to do, but this week is kind of crazy because of this photo shoot that all ended up coming together last minute. If you're a small business owner that, whether you have or don't have a social media presence, Don't be afraid to share things about yourself and your life that you enjoy outside of the business, because I don't know, for me, I love doing outdoor activities, I love skiing, I love camping, I love to travel, and those are all things that I try to share with you and just bring you along because it's just who I am and a part of me. And my business allows me to do those things as well. So if you are a small business owner and if you don't have a presence on social media, or if you do and you feel like it's not getting you anywhere, just don't be afraid of sharing bits and pieces of yourself and your own life outside of the business and outside of your work, because those are the things that make you unique, and they're what make you you and set you apart from everyone else who might be doing something similar. So speaking of being myself and traveling, I want to host an international trip with other small business owners and makers somewhere cool, and basically go on a trip together. And then on the trip, it would be cool to just craft together or talk about business together and just have that connection and almost like a little retreat. So I am partnering with a company called Trip to do an international trip. But the first step before I can actually move forward with putting the trip together is to actually get your opinion. So I have a survey link below in the description where you can go in, and it's only a few questions. It won't take that much of your time, but I need to get at least 100 responses on the survey before I can move forward with planning the trip. And basically it's like, where do you want to go? Where would you want to travel with me to? What time of year does it work for you to travel? What is your budget for a trip like this? So I don't know, I think it would be so much fun. And as you know, I love traveling and I travel a lot, but it would be so cool to do it with you and with people who just get it as far as being a small business owner or a content creator. So please, please, please fill out that survey below. It does not mean that you're committing to the trip. It's just seeing what people's interests are, and it'll help me figure out like where we should go. So I'll put that down. B-roll of the B-roll. Day 2 of the shoot. Today's was a lot more like skiing, and then we went out to pretend like we were at a show at a bar downtown. Anyway, we have a pattern release on Friday, so I still have a lot to do. It is Wednesday. I actually need to finish up a couple of the cowls so I can get the photos taken for the pattern on Friday. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of been a little bit of a whirlwind this week just because there's this other project going on in the background, but I don't know. What is life? Things are always going on, so. Morning. It's busy today. I don't know if you can even hear me, but we're doing shoot day 3, and then I will get all the cowl stuff ready to go and all the pattern things. Alright, back in the studio after a very out of the studio week. Excuse my face because I just got back from the dentist. But yeah, the fireside beanie pattern releases tomorrow, and the surprise cowl pattern, so I have to get all of that stuff uploaded onto the computer. I did double dip because we had to do that shoot on the mountain anyway, so I just brought some cowls and I was like, I'm just gonna take a couple photos over here, don't mind me. So that's basically what I have to do. The testers have been just crushing it and sharing all over in their stories and stuff, so I'm so grateful. Test knitters are seriously what makes a pattern successful, and I'm always just so grateful of everyone's time and, you know, really good conversations that we get to have while we have our test chat. So I don't know, it just makes me so happy. But tomorrow is also International Women's Day, so I thought it would be cool to do a fun promotion for that. I always either do like a coupon code or sometimes I do like a special donation when I release a new design. And I think for this one, especially with all of the stuff that's been going on in the world lately, and I think I talked about this in either my last vlog or this one, I don't remember, but just like feeling like you're helpless with some of these really big world problems, and not knowing what to do. So I think I'm going to donate $1 from every pattern sold over the weekend to Women for Women International, which basically donates to local women's organizations that help get aid and, you know, essential needs for these women, childcare or medical care and things like that. So empowering women that are extremely marginalized in violent, war-torn areas. So that's kind of what this organization does. Just trying to do something that I can do. So, and then we will release it into the world and hopefully people love it. Alright, I'm trying to update the listings. I must admit, I am just a little bit out of sorts right now because this week has just been so wild in a good way, but I'm trying to get my head back in the office and computer work game here. Hopefully I can knock all this out in the next hour or two and then get some info back to my testers because I really need to make more stuff for Ohana. I've dropped off twice in the last week and they keep selling out. So it's a good problem to have and I'm very grateful, but it's like that's kind of like a constant thing that I need to be working on, and adding like things like this pattern release and the shoots all week have just been an extra thing. So yeah, every week is wild. We did it. I got the email sent out, we got all of the listings published, and a couple of pins on Pinterest, so. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? The pattern is live. Both patterns are live. It's funny because the way I had this week planned out with the pattern releases, it was going to be very nice and easy. I have like my pattern release timeline and checklist that I've made for myself, and I was like, cool, everything's great. And then the shoot really came together last minute. So I hope you had fun coming along on that. I don't know, it's still mind-blowing to me that we've had the opportunity to do these media projects. It's definitely not something that I thought would happen as a result of my business, but I was really thinking about it, and all of these opportunities have come up from just having a presence on Instagram and sharing, you know, not only my work, but hopefully just parts of myself and things that I enjoy. So it is encouraging. I know I've been getting really down on myself for my Instagram lack of growth, let's just say. But who cares? I guess I'm just here to tell you that also, who cares if you're not growing? Just keep showing up. It's okay. And it's not like you have to show up every day or whatever. Just remember that your stuff will resonate with the right people, and that's cool. So I don't know how successful this pattern release is going to be. I just didn't do quite as much marketing as I usually do for one. And today is actually International Women's Day, so I wanted to talk more about that than, you know, buy my patterns. But my testers have been doing a great job of sharing my work and just being so amazing. Just another reminder, if you are at all interested in doing a trip together, I would love to meet you on a really fun trip up to go on an adventure together and to craft together, talk about business together, talk about creating content together, whatever. There's a survey link in my description, and I just really would love if you filled it out and just let me know where you might want to go, what you might want to do, and that kind of thing. It does not mean you are committed to going on a trip. It just means you're interested, possibly, maybe. So I would really appreciate it if you filled that out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself, and I will see you in the next video.